This is Mike Joy.
Mike Joy. What's going on, buddy? I thought that was your
Hey,
number. I'm like, wait.
yeah, no, I figured I'd call in. But I didn't catch. What's the name of that social media that
You
you're
know,
talking about?
I'm glad you called in because I was going to ask you. You're somebody that's out there doing this stuff now with the whole social media stuff. Vero, Vero,
Vero. Huh? No,
Vero.
I never heard of it. But I'm gonna research it.
I've just seen it in the last 3 or 4 days. People popping up like saying, "Should I join? Shouldn't I join?" And then like 20 minutes later, they've joined. So now I asked one of the it seems like a lot of comic book people that I've met through the Comic-Con scene are the ones getting on there. And I asked one of the comic artists I know, and he said basically it's like no algorithms, no ads. It's just it's social media. So I don't know how it works or whatever, but yeah, but it's an app, so you got to do it on your freaking phone.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, no, I'm always curious about something new, and I never heard of that. But maybe I'll give it a try. Yeah, definitely curious about it, that's for sure.
I'm definitely curious, but I don't want to do it yet.
Nice. So,
So
are you flying solo today?
I am, yeah. As of now, it's Nick's wedding anniversary, so him and his
Okay.
wife are out to dinner, and Giannetti, he's one of the trainers at Gangrel's wrestling school, and Gangrel is out on tour in Europe, so
Uh-huh.
he's literally running the asylum. So
Wow.
yeah. So I am running solo, and now I'm not. And I don't know where my guest is, So yeah.
Well, I just came across some horror news, and I thought I'd call in just to see if you heard about it. And if you didn't, maybe we'll talk about it.
Let's
But
go.
yeah, no, I was just reading. Of course, you are familiar with the '90s movie, The Blair Witch Project, right?
Right.
Okay, so it basically just came across that Lionsgate is in the works of making a Blair Witch TV show. Now it's unknown at this point what direction it's going to take. I'm curious to see if they'll go along the route of doing a found footage television program. That would be very interesting. Or if they'll just do, a standard, normal, quote unquote, normal TV show. Yeah, I don't know
Now,
what direction they're going to go, but
what networks is this going to be? Do you know by chance, or?
I don't know what network. I know Lionsgate is in the works of creating the show. So it's nothing that's even been made yet, or probably not even cast yet. This is the first inkling that I've even heard about it.
Interesting. Okay. Be interesting to see where that's going to, if it's going to end up like on a streaming service or an actual network, or.
Well, I mean, I would venture to say, I mean, like nowadays, the streaming services are producing better quality shows than the networks. So, I mean, to see it on someplace like Netflix would certainly be a possibility. But I mean, I wouldn't, I'd say it could really show up anywhere. But
Right.
yeah, I'm just curious because like I was thinking is there, if they did choose to go the found footage route, is there or has there been a found footage TV show? Or I'm just trying to think. I can't recall any.
I mean, offhand, I don't know, but
Okay.
there's so many um, like networks and original programming on all these freaking networks anymore. You can't keep up.
Yeah. Well, I'll put it this way. I don't think there's ever been a popular found footage TV show. Um,
Agreed.
I mean, if there's something out there, it's hidden pretty deep. Um, but Blair Witch has got such a you know name recognition to it. I mean, I can't imagine it being lost in the shuffle. It's probably going to be on something prominent.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Interesting. Now you have a lot of happenings this week in your little world over there between your marketing company and between horror news.
Well, yeah, I mean, a couple things going on. Well, I mean, guess brand new is the fact that I just teamed up with. Do you know who Hart Fisher is? Have you ever came across that name?
No.
He runs a VOD site called American Horrors, and it's an absolutely free site, unlike the subscription-based sites like
Okay.
Shudder and other things that you would pay for.
Okay.
This is like ad-based, but anyway, he got in touch with me, and basically taking over for doing all the marketing for this site, which is completely cool, and I'm very excited about. And this guy, he's been deep in the horror genre for many years now, and he's been on. I mean, I'm just not talking about he's been in a horror magazine here or there. He's been on like Larry King Live. He's been,
Oh, wow.
on, I couldn't even name, but tons of various, real news programs. So the guy's a real deal, and he's, doing something pretty cool with this, this video site. So I'm excited about that. So we're just getting our feet wet, starting that. You're going to be seeing a lot of cool stuff coming your way.
That's awesome, dude. Congratulations, man.
Oh yeah, no, thank you. But yeah, I mean this year coming up in July is going to be the 10th anniversary of HorrorNews.net. Yeah, 2008. The site was created, and I've been there ever since. So we're trying to do some really different, cool things this year. I guess the one thing that's the coolest thing we've done so far, and I mean the year's just getting started, but we teamed up with Shudder, which is a subscription-based horror network, which has all kind of movies. But through HorrorNews.net, we got like a little deal with them where you can get 30 days free. You just use a promo code Horror News, and boom, you get 30 days free. Watch as much horror as you want. So pretty cool. And then I'm teaming up with a couple other horror places to offer some specials for whether it be toys or movies and that kind of thing as the year goes on. And we're trying to get bigger and better as we build towards the actual anniversary date.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Now these VOD sites, like these video sites, like are they like do these movies? Do people go to them? Like how do they get the rights? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like I guess it's like a smaller type streaming service is what you're saying, almost like you can watch, I guess, online, or like probably like a Roku or something like that, or
Yeah. I mean, exactly. Like uh, the one I first mentioned, Hart Fisher's American Horrors. That's a Roku channel.
okay,
Um, and the the second one I mentioned that we have a partnership with, giving a free 30-day trial, Shudder. Shudder is a very popular subscription-based service where you pay so much a month, um, and you get access to, I don't know, hundreds of horror movies. Um, so they're two different things. Hart Fisher's one is a free site. Shudder is a paid subscription site. But I mean, essentially, you're getting the same content, or variations of, in just two different ways.
that's interesting.
Yeah,
How about
and I guess to answer your question, like how do they get the content? I mean, basically, it's one of those things where whoever the distributor is of said movie, they just make a deal, and like either they do like an 80-20 split, or 50-50 split, or whatever, so
Gotcha.
both parties make money on whatever's being rented.
Interesting. So it's a whole. I mean, that's like just a whole new world that's really just taken over completely.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've mentioned this before, that it's no surprise that movie theaters, the numbers were really low, like really down, until It came out, Stephen King's It, and that of course broke all kind of records. But I mean, leading into that, I mean, you look at like the normal numbers for people that are going to the movies this or like last year compared to like previous years, and it was like ridiculously low. I haven't really checked the trends lately, but I don't know if it's rising or staying steady. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people are choosing to to watch their movies on subscription based services, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the movie theaters too. They've all tried to, I guess, trying to make things more appealing with these. That they've made the switch to like the reclining lounge chairs and stuff like that. But at
Yeah.
the end of the day, it's getting, and I think it's not just even with the movie business. I think it's like all worlds of entertainment, whether it's music and concerts, comedy, whatever it may be. But just getting people to come out of their houses anymore, because it's just everything's just so much more convenient at home.
Yeah. Did you hear about I forget what's it called, but basically it's you pay like a monthly
Yeah,
fee and you get to go to the movies as much as you want.
yeah.
What's it called?
It's pretty cheap. I don't know what it's actually called, but I think it's only like $20 a month or something like. I mean, something really cheap considering you can go unlimited.
Yeah, it's like unlimited. I think it's even cheaper than that, to tell you the truth. But yeah, it's I forget the name of it exactly, but yeah, I'm gonna do it. I have to do it, because I mean it's like a no-brainer. It's if you go to the movies like twice, you're already
$10.
it's already
Movie Pass.
paid for. Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Movie Pass. It's $10.
Okay. Yeah. So $10. Boom. I mean, you can go to the movies one time, and your ticket could cost $12, depending if
Right.
it's what time you're going. So I mean, yeah, it seems like it's worth it.
Yeah, and I mean, I would like something like that. Like, especially for like people who are like movie reviewers or whatever. I mean, that's like primo. You just do that, and I would just go like every day to the movies and just see every freaking movie in
Oh
peace,
yeah,
like with nobody around.
dude. I mean, I kid you not. I don't do it as much anymore, but back in the day, I was going to the movies at least, and I mean at least once a week. Um, now I don't make it there as much, but if I get this, oh yeah, I'll be back.
The return of Michael Joy to the movie circuit.
Well, you know what? Actually, I have a gripe about the movies and the changes that they're making. This is actually something that I don't like, and I don't know how other people feel about it, but it kind of rubs me the wrong way. I don't like them telling me where I have to sit. You know how you go in there now and you have to pick your seat,
Right.
and that's your assigned seat.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't know. I'm more old school. I like just to walk in there and then look around and see, like, okay, I don't want to sit near these people. I don't want to sit near these people. Let me find a spot where I want to sit. You know, this way it's kind of like, boom, you're stuck there, and it's like, you know, you don't know who's going to be in front of you. You don't know who's next to you. You know, I like that freedom to be able to like move if I want to.
I can understand that, but I kind of, I guess I don't mind it. I mean, it's been a
Yeah,
few
I don't know. It kind of rubs me the
years.
wrong way. I feel like when they first started doing it, I just felt like, I was losing a freedom, of going to the movies and just having, just the whole theater to like, choose, not to like, okay, this is my seat. And because I don't know, like I got a thing where like if there's someone in front of me, like I don't want to be cornered in, it's like because trust me, I mean I'm sure you've been in a situation where you've sat next to people that were like talking the entire time or like on their phone the entire time, and I just like to like get up and move or something.
Well, I mean, that's the one good thing though is that most of the because the seats are so spread out now, being that fact that you don't have like you're not on top of each other anymore. So if somebody's going to be on their phone or whatever, it's not as bad.
Yeah, I mean I get that, I don't know. I got to get used to it. I'm not there yet.
Oh, too funny, too freaking funny. Yeah, I was kind of like contemplating because we have some free movie passes. I was saying earlier, I'm like, I wonder if we should maybe go see Black Panther this weekend. Wait, and then like we have one of them streaming boxes. So I mean, a lot of times we just watch the movies at home on the streaming box.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, boom, there you have it. The world of technology taking over why people don't go to the theater anymore.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's crazy because then it becomes it's not even that the movie tickets aren't even the point of being that where it's so expensive anymore. Yeah, they've actually kind of gotten cheaper
Mhm.
at the place we go to because they have like the food there and they got the bar, but they sock it to you with the food and the bar. It's like going to a concert. It's like $10 for a beer and the food, which kind of sucks. Like when the place first converted over to like the food, the dine and view, whatever they call it,
Mhm.
setup. Like the food wasn't bad. It was like, wow, all right, for a movie theater, it's pretty half decent. Like I mean, it's a full freaking menu, and it's not just like hot dogs and chicken fingers. It's like half decent stuff, and the
And
food
where is
was
this
good.
again?
It's Concordville, right at Route 1 and 202, Painters Crossing. It's an AMC theater,
Oh,
and
it's an AMC.
yeah, oh yeah,
Oh, wow.
and but over, it's probably been about 3-4 years since they've converted over, and the food quality has just gone to shit. I mean, they always like change the menu and add new items and all, but just the actual quality of the food itself has just really gone to shit.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I know what you're talking about as far as like, that's where they concessions. I mean, really, that's where the theaters make their money back, because, I guess, they have to pay so much money back from ticket sales to, um, the, the filmmakers and the distributors and all that kind of stuff. So, I
Right,
mean, that's why like everything is so overpriced. That's why you're paying like $9 for a bucket of popcorn.
right, right. It's crazy. It really is. Pulled our thing up real quick. Um,
Silence.
yes, gotta love it. Um, here we go. Food and drinks. Full service. Here we go. The menu. All right. Nachos, brisket fries, wedge lettuce cups, freaking Brussels sprouts they got now. They've changed it again. Pretzel
Wow.
bites, dry rub wings, boneless wings, Korean barbecue bacon buns. Interesting. The Big Bite sampler, crab and avocado sushi rolls, crispy shrimp sushi roll, flatbread, different variety of flatbread pizzas, quesadillas, taco, trio, fish and chips, chicken tenders. Like, I mean, it's not like, you know what I mean? It's not just like, got all types of goofy things. Burgers, um, barbecue mac and cheese brisket bowl.
Yeah, I mean, I got to tell you, in my neck of the woods, the AMC's over here, whether it be like Marlton or Cherry Hill or Deptford, none of those, and I'm talking about South Jersey, none of those theaters have what you're talking about. I mean,
Wow.
we're pretty much popcorn, hot dogs, and not much more.
Yeah, like the other AMC theater by us, they they converted, but they did the same. Like they converted the seats and just did like an update to. I don't even think they did like the alcohol. Just like converted the seats for the most part, and didn't go like the full thing like this other AMC. So
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing like that around me.
wow.
I mean, I'd probably have to travel to the one you're talking about for that to be the closest one, because I don't think there's anything.
Holy
Um, yeah, not that I know of.
That's I'm actually pretty shocked by that.
Yeah, I mean, nothing in South Jersey that I can think of. Um, I don't know if there's anything in like South Philadelphia or like Center City that's like that. Probably not.
Yeah,
So
hmm?
So I don't know. I probably have to travel a distance to get that quality AMC menu. That isn't really a quality AMC menu anymore.
Yeah, right. It's too funny. Have you ever heard of? I got a call last night by a guy that has been on the show a few times, a guest in a band and all, and he's a huge comic book fan. And he called to tell me about. Did you ever hear of a store called Ollie's? He said it's like a Big Lots.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been there.
See, I never heard of it.
Yeah, there's a couple around, where I live.
Yeah, see, I think there was. I think he said there was one in Deptford.
Yeah, there is. Yeah,
That's
there's
why.
one in Deptford. There's one in Cherry Hill. They're the two that I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, because he said what he does is he's a huge comic book fan, and he said they have like a deal with like DC Comics or something, and he's been going there, and they've been putting out all these like reissues of DC graphic novels and stuff, and
Okay.
yeah, he's like they're like $50 cover prices, and he's been getting them for like $7 to $12.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I go to Ollie's that often. I've been there, but when I go there, it's not like I'm specifically looking for, comic books or anything. Actually, I didn't even know they sold them, to tell you the truth, but it's a pretty big place, so I'm not surprised. I know they have, like, cheap DVDs and stuff like that.
I had no like I never even heard of this place, and he was telling me about it. I was like, wow, I had no idea.
Okay, so there you go. If anyone, go to Ollie's. Check it out.
You can go to Ollie's and get old school DC comic graphic novels. It just and then I was looking it up, and then there was like one actually not too far from my shrink's office, so I'm like I might swing by there before my shrink session this week and check it out. I want to see what's going on over there. What am I missing? But it just sounded cool because he was saying these graphic novels. Some of them are like classic DC issues that they've
Yeah, yeah.
redone, and they're hardcovers. And I was like, well, that sounds kind of cool. Like I want to see what's going on now.
Yeah, it'd definitely be worth checking out. Like I said, I've known the place. I've been at the place, but I've never thought to even consider looking for like any kind of comic books or anything there. It's like
Yeah,
you
right.
go into a place like that. That's kind of the last thing you're thinking of. You're usually going there for I don't know. I mean, it's one of those places that kind of has a little bit of everything. Household goods and toys and DVDs and yard stuff.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go over there check it out. I was looking up
Yeah.
now. I'm on Ollie's website. So what else is going on over in that like Jewel World?
Well, I've been looking at a lot of movies from film festivals. We at my job at Artsploitation Films, we've acquired a couple films. Right now, the owners in there's a film festival going on in Berlin, Germany, and actually we picked up 3 films from that festival. So that's pretty cool. And I'm telling you, like watching a lot of these films, a lot of them are foreign films. There's some really wacky stuff out there. I mean, some really, really deeply disturbing and obscure movies. Um, Let me tell you about one of them.
Okay.
All right, so
I'm not scared. I just want you to know I'm a little scared now.
all right, okay, I don't even know where to start with this movie, but and I don't know exactly what country it's from. I don't recall, but there's a movie called The Wild Boys. All right, so basically, what this movie is, it's uh, there's an island that they take bad boys or wild boys to. So, these like out of hand juveniles, out of control, kind of, whatever they did bad, but they kind of like take them to this island to, well, I'm going to give it away in a second, but you know, they're taking them to the island, so they kind of uh, fix themselves or whatever. So, and this is very art house movie, very artsy. A lot of the movies in black and white. I think there's a couple spots where it jumps to color, but for the most part, it's like a black and white movie. All right. So here's the thing. Here's the kicker. So basically, and this is a major spoiler, but I can't do the story justice unless I spoil the movie. So here goes. So they take these boys island, and it is like this. They go over there with this like sea captain, this grimy, dirty sea captain, and they're on this ship, and he makes them swab the deck and all that kind of stuff. So they get to this island, and then there's this like sophisticated like lady at this island who kind of takes these boys in or whatever. Well, anyway, so you learn to find out that the purpose of the island is it turns the boys into females.
What?
Okay. So during the course of this this movie, they're trying to I guess find their sexuality and everything, and you get these boys that are kind of up on each other, and it's very gay tones here and there. Okay. So but here's where another complete twist is, and you don't even realize it until the end of the movie. I mean, I didn't realize it. So anyway, so all these quote unquote the wild boys or whatever, all these kids that they got to play boys, they got girls to play the roles of all the boys. So here at the end, when all these boys are turning into girls, they've been that all along. You just never knew because of the haircuts and the makeup and everything like that. So then there's the big reveal, and it's like the one kid pulls out his penis, and he's like, whatever, taking a leak or something, and it falls off, and it's like, oh my God, and then he's trying to look. It's on a beach. He's looking in the sand. He lost his penis. It's like, oh my God, where'd it go? Kind of thing. This is one of the most bizarre freaking movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
Holy cow! Now, now was this? You said it was a foreign film too. So is this in subtitles or?
Subtitles, yeah.
Holy! And you sat and watched this?
Yeah. I get sent a lot of movies, and I gotta watch them to see if it's something that we want to buy or not. And then a lot of them, we pass on. Some of them, a lot of stuff we buy is horror films. This doesn't really fall into that category, but it definitely falls into the category of the strange and the bizarre.
Yeah, I was going to say, what category does this fall into? Besides Disturbed?
Art house kind of film, I suppose. But yeah, it's just so out there. And then it's definitely a mind trick, because the entire movie, you're watching one gender. You're thinking you're watching, all these boys, and then all of a sudden, the realization hits at the end when things start falling off and things get exposed and whatnot. That's oh shit, they've been, girls all along.
So you didn't even realize until that point, then?
might have had an inkling, you know, and then it's like, you know, because you're not really sure, you know, because it's in black and white, one. And then, you know, two, it's like, you know, the way people are dressed and made up, it's just, you know, you weren't sure what direction they were going with it.
Right. Right.
And
Wow.
so I thought I'd share that little tidbit with you.
So was that like a pass on or?
Um, yeah, that wasn't one that we chose to acquire. But you know, it's one of those things where you have to decide if there's an audience for it, and this is a type of movie where you really don't know who the audience is.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, where do you market it towards? Um, you know, and you know, like Ray, the owner of Artsploitation, you know, he made a point. He's like, well, he's like, you know, you market it towards the gay audience, but you know, they're all going to get pissed off when they find out that, you know, all these boys aren't really gay; they're all females already. You know, so it's, you
Right.
know, it's like, you know, where do you go?
Decisions.
Yeah, yeah. So
That's a job I would not want to have, is to like trying to figure out the marketing of that.
yeah, yeah. You know, I like the straightforward, you know, horror genre. You know who your audience is. You know, it's plain and simple. You know, that's what I'm best at. You know, anything else is kind of more of a headache than anything else.
Oh boy. Now, how about I mean, there's a whole bunch of horror conventions coming up. Are you going to be at any of those or?
Well, I mean, Monster Mania is just right down the pike, maybe 10 minutes away. I always
Okay.
try to at least, you know, pop my head in to Monster Mania. That's always a fun time. Of course, I'd probably just be going there as a guest, not a vendor or anything like that. Although, you know, I have from time to time showed up, you know, with a table at a couple of these places. Um, but you know, it's one of those things where you have to kind of figure out, is, you know, is it worth spending the money that some of these conventions charge? Monster
Right.
Mania, I think they're at like $350 a table. Um, so yeah, that's, you know, I don't
Yeah.
really know if spending $350 is going to be, you know, worth it for me personally.
Yeah. It's a lot of money to put out up front.
You know, I mean, you really have to um, know that you're going to sell there. You know, and I mean, you got to sell quite a bit just to break even right there with
Right.
$350. But I mean, hey, you know, tons of people. I mean, they have people returning time and time again. So I mean, you know, they got to be making money, especially
Yeah.
when there's tens of thousands of people walking in and out that door, you know, all weekend.
Yeah. I think, and each time, I mean, it just gets crazier and crazier. Where like it used to be like on, we've really started going to like the cons on Friday nights,
Hmm.
because it was always a lot less crowded. But even like, I guess people have gotten wise to that, and even the Friday nights now are just insane anymore.
Yeah, yeah. The slowest is usually Sunday, um, and a lot of people have already packed up and left.
Right.
And you know, if you're going to see, you know, names, you know, a lot of the name, you know, stars are there Friday and Saturday, but not Sunday. So, you know, I mean, if you want a little bit of a crowd, but you know, you're skipping the big names, then Sunday might be the thing for you. But it's if you like all the hoopla and all the hubbub, then being right in the mix of it, then I kind of do and I kind of don't. The crowds just get pretty overwhelming after a couple hours.
Oh yeah, oh totally. Like with at Monster Mania, Tim Curry. So they're going to have Tim Curry there this time around, and it's just going to be an insane freaking amount of people, and you can't enjoy it because there's just so much. And especially with Monster Mania, I don't even go into the vendor rooms anymore because it's just so crowded you can't even walk.
Yeah. And then Wizard World is another one that's coming up. Do you go to that?
You know what? I stopped going because it just got to be entirely insane.
Well, I heard something about a month ago. I was reading that they cut a lot of conventions out. There are a couple. I don't know exactly how many million, but there are millions of dollars in debt. So they're financially not doing all that great. And I clicked on and I'm sure they'll be signing more talent, but I clicked on who's going to be there so far, and it really isn't anything compared to previous years.
Yeah.
They've really pulled no punches. Previous years, like bringing in all kind of name talent, from TV shows and top movies and, like big box office movies too. They, but I don't know. I think they're losing so much money. They're not going to be able to do that.
Right. It's honestly, I think they really they kind of shot themselves in the foot with doing that, with bringing all these big huge name talent in to bring the people in the door, and then they charge so much freaking money for these autographs and these fan experiences, and it ends up pissing off the vendors. And I know because I know a few of the vendors from last year, and they were furious because they did no sales, and they're paying $1,000 or more for their vendor tables for the weekend. And I didn't even realize they do this, but they were telling me on the last day, they pull all the vendors, I guess before the con opens on that last day, they pull them into a room and start pitching them for next year. Oh, if you sign up now, you get a discounted rate and all. And the people were furious. They were like, no. So.
Yeah, it's a racket. I don't know. Because they're in debt and everything, they actually and this has nothing to do with the other thing, but something else that I just read is, did you read that Sony made a deal with Wizard World?
No.
So apparently Sony Pictures, was it Sony? Yeah, I think it was Sony. They made some kind of deal with Wizard World.
Mike, can you hold that thought? You're hanging out. My guest is here, and I want to get her on.
Absolutely.
Hang him, because I want to talk more about that.